Because, like, otherwise I'm just going to keep going.
So, welcome to Gaming Beards. We were recording earlier, but there was no mic.
And now we're recording now! Yeah,
By the way, it's not accidentally muted again.
Yes!
The button isn't flashing.
Gotta make sure that you actually record things when you're recording.
Alright.
Otherwise you're gonna have a bad time.
So we're going to talk about class changes, because we are going to nerd the
Class
fuck out.
changes in WoW.
Whatever. Whatever.
Details, technicalities.
They'll see it in the title.
Whatever.
Maybe. Depending on what the title actually is.
Depending on what we're actually doing that day.
Right, so we're going to talk about Death Knights.
Yeah.
I know.
The biggest, well, the first change, realistically, is that they're getting... they're only getting one rune now, which is strange, I guess. I mean, they've always had those three kind of iconic rune sets, where you've got your Blood, your Unholy, your Frost, and they all did their specific things. But from the looks of it, they're more so just taking to unifying the spec, as it were. So, like, Blood will most likely have Blood runes, Unholy will have Unholy runes, Frost will have Frost.
It's more of a quality of life thing, it looks like.
To be perfectly honest, from my experience playing Death Knights, I'm always sitting there waiting on my rune to come up. Like, I find myself, like, I'll go Frost Strike, Obliterate, Obliterate, I don't have any death runes, so I might as well just wait for an Obliterate, because I've got a Killing Machine proc.
And Heart Strike's coming back.
That! Kind of. I heard it was a talent.
Yeah, it's a talent.
It's going to be a talent. Dude, I have missed Heartstrike. I was so sad when they got rid of it and just merged it into Blood Boil. I was like, Heartstrike sounds better. Why can't we just call the ability Heartstrike and have it spread diseases anyway?
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
And Blood Boil is still there. It just wasn't in the blog.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
They announced that today. Today's Friday. So, that's good.
You know, timetables and things.
Yeah. And they're gonna get, procking Blood Shield? Or,
Bone Shield.
Bone Shield, that's what I meant. Bone Shield.
Yeah, Bone Shield. I really like that they're... Do Death Knights still have that? I don't think they do. I think they took that out.
I don't know, I would have to check my Death Knight again.
Yeah, wow, we're awesome. But I don't think... Either way, what they're doing with Bone Shield, I really liked it. Because... instead of just being, yes, it's this cooldown, it's this like 3-minute cooldown that has 3 charges or some crap like that. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
It really wasn't amazing.
Yeah, it didn't make you feel excited.
No, it was like, oh cool, I've got a shield. Oh, there it goes. I mean, sure, they gave it that 1 second internal cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, yeah. It lasts 3 seconds. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Like, what's that gonna do for me?
Yeah, but now you get to activate it on your own terms.
Most badass ability name I have read, like, this entire... throughout the notes. It's called Marrowrend.
Oh, that's
so cool. I love the name of the ability, and I love what it does. So, I mean, they're still sticking with this 1 rune, 2 rune thing, which is fine. They've got 6. Whatever. They'll deal with it. It's balance. But the fact that it generates... when you use it, it generates 3 charges of Bone Shield. Instant, and from the looks of it, doesn't have a cooldown.
Yeah, it's just 2 runes.
So useful.
Yeah, but... I think they do that because Death Strike is now on Runic Power.
Yes. So you have a way to... you have 2 different survivability things to actually keep yourself alive.
Instead of Death Coil, which didn't really match the Blood icon. That was more Unholy.
Blizzard, I'm looking at you. Death Coil.
But they fixed it with Death Strike now. So, yeah. Which...
We'll accept that. We accept your apology.
And then they got... with the new Death Strike... you use all your runic power to do massive heal.
Oh, yeah.
Heal a certain amount of health.
When you're,
so it's like an oh shit.
Yeah, when you're below that 35% mark. Because, I mean, I've seen quite a number of tank abilities and things where they below 35% it does, like, something amazing. But this Death Strike thing, okay, execute, not a tank ability, but still does kind of the same thing, but for yourself.
Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. I can see where you'd have problems with it, but I mean, after a one-shot mechanic, that's... Yes. Please, take all of my runic power.
Yeah. I don't even care. Just heal!
It's just... It's really helpful, especially when combating the one-shot mechanics that Blizzard seems to absolutely love.
Yes.
Pisses me off, by the way. Fuck that. Blizzard, fuck you. But, please, I love your games, but come on! When a tank forgets to press one freaking button, give me a break. It's only normal. Whatever.
Yeah, and
That's just me.
their disease now is just
blood
plague.
Blood
It
plague.
just heals them.
I like what they did with diseases.
Yeah.
I like that I don't have to sit on my blood decay anymore and go, okay, this disease, and then this disease, and then use these runes, and then, like, maintain. I mean, the maintain wasn't that difficult, but just it feels so unintuitive to be able to do that.
Yeah, because diseases are more of an unholy thing, which we'll get to that.
Yeah, I love that. But the other thing I love, shout outs to Lord Marigar and his ability Bone Storm, because they fucking brought it back as a talent. Yes! Oh my god, how many people there... Okay, before Legion even comes out, I guarantee you someone's gonna have made an add-on already that has Lord Marigar's voice as you're doing bones. It doesn't matter if it's just to you, so worth it. When you can click this button and go, Bone Storm! I will... Oh my god, I am rolling blood and there's nothing that you can stop me.
I just hope that the animation is different
awesome.
than Whirlwind. That would be disappointing if it was. They're adding way more animations.
You know,
for
that's something I hadn't... Okay, that's long overdue. But...
like, Mortal Strike's gonna get its own animation. Rogue Finishers have their own animation.
Cool, very cool. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm glad you read up on this.
So,
But,
that'll be awesome.
I would like that. It's gonna have to be something similar to Whirlwind, obviously, but...
Yeah.
It's... I could definitely see, like, a Bone Shield plus a Bone Storm... Bone Shield plus Whirlwind equals Bone Storm kind of thing going on.
Or, well, it says a whirl of bone and gore batters nearby enemies.
Bone and gore, oh boy.
Maybe it's kind of like they, like, summon bones or whatever, and they just go and smack people.
Be like the Crusader ability with the hammer just whirling around. You just have bones whirl. You don't actually spin. It's just bones spinning around you.
You just summon Marigar.
Marigar! Oh my god, they need him as a pet. I want Marigar as a pet. He has to know Bone Storm.
I thought he was a fan.
Is he? Oh my god.
I don't know if he is.
Well, I know what I'm doing after this. About to go farm ICC for some Marigar pets.
Alright, let's move on to Frost.
Okay, Frost.
Which I'm a little disappointed in.
There's a lot of mixed feelings about Frost.
Yeah.
The main... I mean, okay, so Frost... They're giving you all Frost runes, and the main thing that's really changing is the killing machine.
Mm-hmm.
Where, okay, so your passives have a chance to make your next Obliterate automatically crit. It's not your Frost Strike anymore, it's just Obliterate.
Yeah, dual wield Death Knights relied on killing machine Frost Strike. So if there's talents that make Obliterate more meaningful instead of it just auto crits sometimes.
Right. Now, one thing that Blizzard did bring up, because people had asked questions about it, they did say that there's a lot of tweaking that can go on within the talents for Killing Machine, like devaluing crit so it's not that bad, or I believe they brought up the fact of one of the talents might give it back to Frost Strike, so it would help Frost out a little bit more in that respect.
Yeah, because their mastery is still the increase all Frost damage.
Yeah, and yeah, they said it may be modified by talent, so maybe there's something that Blizzard could do there to bring it back for those that want it.
Yeah,
I think that's part of their whole theory with this, is their choice thing. To a lot of people, it's looking like, oh, well, they're just dumbing down all the classes and limiting choice. Kind of. But you have to keep in mind, we're not getting the whole story.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's going to be a lot of different talents, and they're all spec specific this time. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a lot more choices to go through within each town. We don't know if they're going to be best town for be all like for what was it? Like Avatar's not that good for a warrior.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But Bladestorm was like the be all.
Yeah, like every spec chose this because it was the most damage, most threat generation, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so hopefully we get talents that, you know, you kind of have to, there's pros and cons to it, and like, do you like this better or this better? Like, hopefully you can modify like your actual choices instead of what is actually better. Right,
and the class preview is meant to just provide a core idea of what they want to do and what they're doing with classes in Legion.
Yeah, all the blogs are just kind of like their tip of the iceberg. Like, this is our idea of making the themes connect with each spec.
Yeah, believe me, if we were getting more than just their typical, the tip of the iceberg, their idea, we would have a freaking novel of stuff. Just ideas, things they've struck down, things that have passed through, that kind of thing. Because from just a ton of stuff.
From the Q&A stuff that they've been doing today, it looks like there's a lot of stuff that they're answering a lot of questions like, oh, is this ability still in? A lot of times they say yes. Or it's baked into another ability, like Monk's Tiger Palm is now the jab.
Yep, it's all in one kind of thing where it keeps that animation, but that kind of stuff. I really liked that.
Alright, so back to Frost though. Right now, from what we can see, I don't like it. Because it seems like a simpler version of Frost, and it felt like Frost was already simple enough as it is.
Yeah, it's kind of turning him into a Frost Mage. I play a Frost Mage. But it's almost like a one-button DPS at this point, where you just obliterate. Oh, it's AoE? Oh, okay. Howling Blast.
Yeah.
Remorseless Winter. Woohoo.
Yeah, but their final talent, I need to read it again. Glacial Spikes. That sounds awesome.
I know. They did the wording on a lot of this stuff really well. Like, I do like the wording that they put on.
I hope they go balls to the wall with the animations of these abilities.
I imagine they've already got kind of an animation in game of what glacial spikes could look like, you know, those white spikes that come up from the ground.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little bit more detail on those spikes, just to show that it's a player ability and not an NPC ability.
Mm-hmm.
But I could totally see that happening. What I want to know, it's a 1 rune, 12-second cooldown. It must be melee, right? So it looks like... okay, reading verbatim. Summon glacial spikes from the ground that advance forward, dealing moderate frost damage to enemies near their eruption point. We don't have a range.
Yeah. So...
Is it a 20-yard, 30-yard? Is it like Death Grip?
I don't know. I think they're purposely being vague.
And that's one of the interesting things that like didn't come up on the forums either. No one asked about specifically glacial advance. Now, given we'll back off. It's a talent. They're not revealing talents yet. It's just an idea of a frost specific talent. Okay, yes. Fine. Still cool. Thank you, Blizzard.
Yes. Now, Unholy sounds disgusting.
I think they hit that one home.
Like, let's see. Festering Strike is already a thing.
Outbreak, Festering Strike, Scourge Strike, Death Coil.
Oh, Festering Wound.
Oh yeah, the Festering Wounds. Yeah, I like
a pulsant-ridden lesion.
Oh, a pustule-ridden lesion that may be burst by Scourge Strike. Dealing moderate shadow damage and generating 3 power. Whatever.
That sounds very unholy. Like.
I love the way they word some of this stuff. But that ability in particular, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
before I had to read it a couple times to really understand what was going on with it, because the real guessing point to this one, the real thing that people are going to have a problem with, is that it deals massive physical damage and infects the target with 1 to 3 festering wounds. There's a lot of variability in that, because that really changes what... I mean, there's a lot of RNG. You're leaving your DPS up to RNGesus. Are you sure you want to do that? Maybe there's a talent that fixes it.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? I'm just saying. But it seems really random.
Mm-hmm. Well, it doesn't look like it, like, consumes it when you do a Scourge Strike, so maybe it's not as bad as we think.
It consumes 1. That's actually one of the questions they answered. It consumes 1 stack of Festering Wound. So, depending on your luck, you're either going to be able to complete a Festering Strike, Scourge Strike, Scourge Strike, Scourge Strike in 1 set of runes. Like 1 full set. Super easily. That's so much burst. If you get lucky. Like, if you hold on to your runes. That's the other thing. Totally forgot to mention. The way that runes are regenerating now.
Oh, did they?
They mention it because there's only one thing of runes now, instead of blood regenerates 1 at a time, frost 1 at a time, unholy 1 at a time. Instead of doing that, they're keeping that, but they're making it so 3 can regenerate at a time. So if you use all 6, 3 will regenerate, and then the next 3 will regenerate.
Okay.
So, like, for this kind of thing, you could do, Outbreak, Festering Strike. Oh, look, 3 procs. Scourge Strike, Scourge Strike, Scourge Strike. All the runes are gone, and you've just done a massive amount of damage.
Now you got death coils.
Yeah, and now you've got death coils for days, because RNGesus loves you. As opposed to, Festering Strike 1, you get 1 stack, and then, suddenly your burst is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it won't matter, but...
A lot of the unholy power also comes from the pet, which we're going to be moving on to.
Oh, yeah, the pet. I've never been a huge fan of pet classes, but Unholy's been okay.
Yeah, like, it doesn't seem like you have to manage the unholy pet as much as, like, a hunter pet.
Yeah. I mean, they see Bestial Wrath, Dark Transformation...
Yeah, but with the new Dark Transformation, instead of you doing death coils until you get the Dark Transformation, you now use it.
It used to stack, didn't it?
Yeah, it's
you get
up to 5
stacks,
times.
and then you use it. Okay.
Now it's just a 1-minute cooldown, and the more death coils you do while it's transformed, the more damage it'll do.
Interesting. I kind of like it. It's more reliable.
Yes.
And
you're not banking on runic power.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you wanted it to be like, if it ends up being the best cooldown and you want to make it as efficient as possible, you could easily just store your 100 runic power and boom, and then what's death coil? 3 runic, 30 runic. So you just use death coil 3 times, like right out the gate, and then it regenerates enough. You get a 4th one right there. So
yeah,
you could power it up pretty quick.
Yeah. So instead of, it's like the opposite of what it used to be, where you would Dark Transformation and then store a bunch of runic power, try to avoid using death coil if you can,
and hold on to it for your next Dark Transformation.
Yeah.
Okay. Did it have a cooldown at that point, or was it just
so.
Whenever you got 5 stacks?
I think it's whenever you got 5 stacks.
So probably about a minute or something.
Yeah. So this is more interacting with your pet while it's super pet.
Okay. Okay, so they changed the focus from before into after.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, so it'll essentially do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And we don't know if there's talents that will affect that. It probably will, because the pet is such a huge part of Unholy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, like, that's kind of what they wanted it to be. It's disease and pet.
Yeah.
Summon your pets.
Yeah, and then their new...
And then, of course, going into that, they've got their talent example. May not be a real talent. Let's not put all our cards in one pile. But they're all will serve. Your Raise Dead spell summons an additional skeleton minion, and its cooldown is removed.
So you get 2 Tibbies.
all of the
You get Timmy
skeletons.
and Jelly. Hey, not Jelly. Timmy and Jimmy.
Timmy and Jimmy. It's time to play! Oh no!
Alright, so that's cool. You get 2 permanent pets.
I was actually just gonna ask that. Is the Raise Dead spell the pet spell? I
Yeah.
haven't played Unholy in forever.
Yeah, it's the pet spell.
Okay.
And Raise Ally is the...
Oh, and no cooldown, so when they die, you're just like, poof!
Yeah.
No problem! No problem!
Oh, you're dead? Come back.
No problem. Passive. That's interesting. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Alright, let's do Druid.
That's Blood, Unholy, and Frost. Isn't that fun, guys?
Yeah, Toad's fun. Toad's my goat's fun.
Oh, man. There's so much stuff. Oh, God. And the Druid. Oh, my God. Oh,
Alright, you're
my
more the
God.
Druid guy.
Oh, my God. Druids. Okay. Hold up. I need to gear up for this one. They got a lot of changes for Druids.
Well, it's mainly for balance and bear.
Yeah. Feral and Resto did not change much. Balance and Guardian changed a decent amount.
Yeah, more so balance.
Balance changed a lot. Guardian changed for the better to kind of keep it in line with... They brought it back to its roots and kept it in line with more of what they wanted to offer
Yeah,
tanks.
it's just a giant meat shield.
I will tank everything instead of this dodge bot
Yeah.
that... Oh my god.
Sorry,
Like back
Dad.
back in Burning Crusade, when we were just youngins, so we had a main druid tank for our raid, and he was pretty well geared. So what ended up happening is we'd go off and we'd do heroics for funsies, and he'd come tank for us. Well, the problem with him tanking is that he would lose threat instantly. Because he had no rage. He needed to get hit to get rage. And he kept dodging everything. I was just like, oh my god, why can't you keep threat? Because they can't hit me! Why?
I need to take off my pants.
It's like, dude, just... And back then it was like, well, why would you ever hold on to like DPS gear or whatever? We only have one spec, so he had nothing. It was just awful. It was
hilarious though.
It was ridiculous. Oh my god, it was fun.
Alright, so first of all, druids are now getting a passive to kind of get them to.
Druids are they're getting that passive to get them back to their hybrid roots.
Yeah, instead of just sticking to one or a second one for like 40 seconds.
Yeah. 40 seconds every like 5 minutes. Woo.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool.
Well, it was. I think it was like 30 seconds or something. Either way.
But now they get.
I like this a lot more.
Yeah, some abilities for each affinity that they choose, which is nice.
And just to kind of keep in mind, Blizzard getting rid of the whole dual spec thing and making it so you can be any spec you want. We're not going to stop you.
Which I'm
Druids,
fine with.
I'm okay with that. I play it. My main is a druid at this point. So, I mean, 4 specs, yes. You mean I don't have to not play tank and healer and still be useless in raid? I'm all on board.
I can do everything.
I can do all the things, yeah! And I think it really melds well with their idea on the gear, where everything except like your rings, your trinkets, your neck piece, all of that.
Your weapons too.
Well, your weapons is a whole nother story with their whole artifact weapon.
Yeah, I guess there's the artifact.
So, realistically, all the gear just transfers over. The only thing you gotta watch out for is like spirit.
Yeah.
Bonus armor.
Yeah.
Okay, but affinities.
Yeah.
Affinity is Blizzard bringing back the hybrid to Druid. So essentially, no matter what spec you're in, you can choose an affinity for one of the other specs, which you can activate as kind of a Heart of the Wild talent kind of thing, but it also gives you a passive at the same time. So you can choose specifically for balance. I like the increased range and spells of spells, abilities, and auto attacks by 5 yards.
Yeah, that would be fun for Feral.
That sounds ridiculously fun and overpowered for Feral. Feral Affinity increases movement speed by 15%.
Which is
hide.
good for raiding in PvP.
It's yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I like the 5 yards increase, but I think the other affinities might be a little bit better than the movement speed anyway. But that's not taking into account the whole swapping into that spec for however long they decide.
Yeah. Reduce all damage by 10% for Guardian, and Ysera's Gift. Everyone knows what that is by this point.
It's a talent. It's the best talent. All the druids have it. If you don't have it, you're doing it wrong. Just saying.
Alright, so I think there's enough said about
Side note, Ysera's Gift on a Guardian Druid is freaking overpowered as shit. You go into LFR with 2 Guardian Druid tanks, and healers practically don't need to heal anyone. Because it heals based on percentage of their health.
Guardian
What the
Druid
hell?
with Resto affinities.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're keeping it around.
Just like...
Freaking ridiculous.
Not only am I not going to take any damage because I'm literally a meat shield now, I'm going to heal 5% of it every like 5 seconds.
Yep, bam, no problem, no problem. And what if I'm at full health? Sure, healer can be healed half health in one shot, no problem. Cripes. Want to go over balance stuff?
Alright, so they're getting rid of the lunar and solar bar, whatever that mess was.
The whole eclipse crap.
Yeah, I never got balance.
Balance was always just... I mean, it's like you can play it, but it just doesn't meld.
Yeah.
The only time it melded was when you had like 2 set from this the first set of this expansion, where it was reduce the cast time of your Wrath and Starfire, and it felt good. It felt like it actually lined up. And then when I lost that, I was like,
well, this sucks.
I can cast like 3 Starfires, and then I'm back in Solar.
Yeah, so they're keeping Moonfire and keeping Sunfire, but Sunfire is different now, because I think it hits everyone. Yeah, it hits everyone with a 5-yard range.
It's the same. It does that now, yep.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
Alright. You play more Druid than I do.
Well, it's kind of their AoE dot. So it's like, when you start out the fight, you're like, Moonfire, tab, Moonfire, tab, Moonfire, tab, and get your Moonfire on all of them, and then by the time you've got that, you've got your Solar, and you're just like, Sunfire. Alright, now what? Everyone's got it.
And Starfire looks like is the new Lunar Strike, which is
Oh, yeah. They got this. It was so unintuitive reading this. I was like, wait, we're missing an ability. Oh, no, we're not. They renamed it to or Lunar Strike.
Yeah.
Starfire.
Yeah. Are you gonna miss that?
I'm gonna miss my old Teen Titan friend.
God damn. You could just make a macro, rename it Starfire.
Make a macro, rename my Lunar Strike button to Starfire. There we go. Whew! Crisis averted, guys. All right. Yes.
Solar Wrath basically does the same thing as Wrath.
Is it just me, or what the hell? 45-yard range on these spells, not 40. So their affinity's built into Boomkin.
Yeah.
Super awesome.
I didn't think about that.
Overpowered as fuck. Oh, like in PvP, I'm gonna run behind the pillar. Nope.
And Starfall is now targeted. Like, it's a...
Yeah, it's a targeting reticle.
Yeah.
It's like an AoE you place down, like a Mage's Blizzard.
Yeah, and it's 3 times the radius.
Yeah. Goddamn ridiculous. Oh, what did they say about that?
You can cast while moving while you're in the Starfall.
Yes! Oh my god.
So
3.5 times, and you can cast while moving. That's fucking awesome!
That would be so...
That's absurd!
Okay, you thought druids ran around as trees?
Dude, no! Like, fucking... They don't even have to spam Moonfire when moving anymore. It's just spam Lunar Strike. I fucking love that. Can you imagine that bullshit shenaniganery in PvP? Just put it on a pillar and run around it. Jesus.
And it looks like Star Surge is their ultimate, like, single target once you build up a bunch of astral power. So...
Well, Starfall technically costs more than Star Surge.
Yeah, but that's more for AoE.
Yeah, that's your AoE. Yep. And what they said, because there were a lot of questions about this, obviously, within the notes here, it actually... people asked, no, there's not a typo, right? None of these spells cost mana. Balanced Druids don't use mana anymore.
Yeah.
They use astral power.
Yeah, because
Which-
mana was kind of useless for them.
Yeah, it really was.
It's useless for a lot of...
Like most DPS. That's why they got rid of it for most DPS. Because a lot of the mana-based DPS didn't need it.
Yeah. Like
if you're running out of
Elemental
mana, the only class spec that actually cared about mana was Arcane Mage. That was it.
and they're keeping that.
And well, all mages are still using mana.
Yeah, because their thing.
Yeah, it's their thing. It's their thing. Everyone's got to have a thing. But yeah, so they've got this astral power. I don't mind it. It makes them play very similar to just about anything else at this point. I mean, you've got like Rage, Maelstrom, Energy, Astral Power.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it builds into the balanced Druid theme pretty well.
Oh, one other thing that's super interesting that I didn't actually realize until today when they answered the question. Someone asked about Star Surge, your single target ability.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of empowerment it would get. And Blizzard clarified that when you cast Star Surge, you get an empowerment of each.
Oh.
So you get an empowerment for Lunar Strike and Solar Strike, and you can stack each of those up to 3 times. That's their gimmick into getting you to cast 2 different spells. Without that, you'd just be a Lunar Strike bot, because I imagine it scales better, does more damage, and voila.
Yeah, possibly. And
They've always had that balancing issue, but
yeah.
Starfire Lunar Strikes
Personally,
generally
for
have
me,
more damage.
I like Wrath because it's faster, and I feel more like a turret.
Oh yeah,
Just like the Elemental.
Pew 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 pew. Yeah, for sure.
It's like, wee, wee, wee.
Yeah.
Especially during Bloodlust.
Oh yeah, yeah. The tricky part, Wrath, that's fine until you hit that 1.5 second GCD on the cast time. Then you're sitting there like, I mean, it feels cool. That's why it sucks when you're on when you're on a troll and you get Bloodlust and you use your racial and you're like, well, this was useless. I am at GCD on all of my abilities.
Might as well use the strongest.
But this looks cool, I guess.
Oh my god, Elemental Shaman, that would be awesome.
Fire Mage? Troll Fire Mage? Pyroblast. But they don't do that anymore. That's something totally different. We'll get there.
Arcane Blast.
That's endgame. And everyone knows it. Arcane Mage endgame is just Arcane Blast spam. That's all it ever becomes. That's the progression of the mage as I've seen through the couple.
Right.
But anyway.
We're getting off Druid topic, so let's...
Moving on to... Okay, go ahead.
We have the example tout, which is Blessing of the Ancients. Gain a Blessing of the Ancients, activating or swapping between one of the 2 following... I know how to words. Blessing of Elune increases astral power generated by Solar Wrath and Lunar Strike by 50%. That sounds cool to me. Blessing of Anshi, or however you pronounce it.
Sure.
The Torn God.
Sounds good.
Grants 3 astral power every 2 seconds. So you either get like a constant 3 every 2 seconds, or you just get more every time you cast.
I can see the benefits of this, particularly with you'll want to be in Blessing of Elune when you're in Bloodlust or things like that, depending on haste caps, of course. And then you'll want to be in Blessing of Anshi when you're not casting that fast, kind of thing, or if you're under a crippling effect.
Yeah, or if you're like low on haste.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Which is a thing. Feral did it in Shade Watch.
Feral's like practically the same.
Yeah, the only thing that they changed is Savage War is now a talent.
What did Savage Roar do again?
It increased the damage of your abilities.
Oh, wasn't it the finishing strike thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was either abilities or your auto attacks. I don't remember.
Because it was Tiger's Lust that was the on-use ability.
Yeah, that gave you like all your energy back.
Yep.
So that's all they really changed, because it's the talent is matched with 2 compelling alternatives, that they say. they don't have examples yet.
We were not releasing talents. I'm not telling you anything about talents. Despite the fact that they're like, yeah, this could be a talent. This might be a talent. Yeah, this is a talent. I'm getting mixed signals here, Blizzard. I mean, not like that's anything new, but that's a side note.
Talent they show off is Jagged Wounds, which your Rip, Rake, and Thrash abilities deal the same damage as normal, but in 33% less time.
I like it for PvP.
Yeah, it's good for PvP.
Absolutely useless for PvE unless you're like killing things that need to die faster.
Yeah.
But PvP sounds interesting.
Or if you have so much haste that you can maintain that.
That would be impressive. That's interesting. That's something that might need to be looked into come beta.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm really interested to see what the rest of the talents are, but that's, again, a side note. So that's Feral Druid. Yay, they didn't change.
Guardians, they changed a decent amount.
I love the shit they did to Guardian. Oh my god. Okay.
I have one gripe.
You gonna rain on my parade like that?
A little bit.
You're just gonna rain?
Their defenses are kind of boring.
Yes! But that's what brings them in line with the rest of them. And I don't know, they might change this, but
yeah,
what,
there's no talents. What they've shown makes it look a little boring.
Yeah, what I love, and I'm going to read this verbatim because they worded it perfectly for what I wanted to see. To this end, we've redesigned several parts of the Druid combat ability toolkit to instead focus on the core defensive ideas: health, armor, mitigation, and regeneration, while de-emphasizing dodge. Thank you! I wanted this. I wanted it so bad, because it was like, what kind of fat-ass bear dodges this much?
Yeah, the only ones that should dodge a lot would be monks and now demon hunters.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I totally agree with that.
Because they're agile, and while bears do get agility gear...
Bear's a fucking meat shield.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to dodge.
Like,
it's just supposed to be a meat shield.
A bear is just gonna take the punches.
Yeah, you can shoot a bear in the face with a goddamn shotgun, and it'll be like, ow. Like, come on. Thing? Yes, that's an actual thing. Like, you don't... No, shotguns are awful. It's just...
Oh my god.
Don't go to Alaska, Jake.
Alright. Well, I wanted to.
Bears are... Oh god. What did I do?
Let me see. You fucked up the camera. We're
good.
Alright.
We're permanently dead! Oh god. I couldn't read.
Alright.
Sorry.
So, their offense isn't that different.
Offense is the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
I don't know if they could use Moonfire before, though.
That was a cat thing. It was a talent.
Okay, so now it's just baked into the bear.
Now it's baked into bear, and cats have enough flippin' dot overtimes. Dot overtimes.
Well, I think that's mainly for pulling.
Pulling and range, yeah, because that's one thing that bears definitely lacked. I mean, it was like fairy fire.
Yeah, and we don't know if
Charge?
they have fairy fire anymore.
I would imagine they do.
Yeah, they could, but
I mean, Blizzard brought up that a lot of the spells that weren't mentioned here. Don't worry, guys. Don't freak out. A lot of the shit's still there. Yeah. Yes, Resto Druids still have tranquility. Stop asking.
Alright. And now they have an ability
to... Bears still have maim. Stop asking.
Now they have a spell to reduce magic damage, which they never really had before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they were really lacking in, and I liked it. I like the names of these abilities and kind of alluding to what they do. I like that. Yes, they're boring. Oh, okay, it's just a flat armor increase, or it's a flat damage, magical damage reduction, but...
They answered questions about Iron Fur, where...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, if you use it multiple times, it's going to stack, but then each stack is gonna fade away. Like...
It doesn't... Okay, they explicitly said it doesn't stack. Oh. It overlaps. So you're never gonna get above increased armor by 100%. You're just gonna overlap it. So I think their idea behind it is You're not supposed to be able to spam it and suddenly have you have like 500% more armor. That's not the idea.
Dang it.
Their idea was that you have 100% for 6 seconds, and then you can cast it again 6 seconds later. You're actually losing out on some of the buff.
So you need to be careful.
You need to be careful. I imagine it's the exact same thing with Mark of Ursel.
And then Frenzied Regeneration is going to be fun.
Thank God it's not a second wind.
Because it heals 100% of all the damage you take in the last 6 seconds, over 6 seconds, and you're going to have a lot of health.
It sounds almost like another ability we know. Looking at you, Brewmaster Monks. Yep.
I love my Brewmaster.
I know. I do too. Mine, not his.
Alright.
Mastery, I like it. It harkens back to the whole
Yeah.
Guardian Druid, increases max health, increases healing received. Fucking healing received. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna
they're
see
need it.
so many healing numbers from this. Oh my god. I want to play
Especially
Holy
as-
Pally just for that.
Resto.
Yeah. Resto, hey, they didn't change anything. Woohoo.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
no.
it was already fun.
Well, yeah, no. They really didn't change a whole lot, but they
Except for the Master.
yeah, the mastery is a big change, which I approve of. I mean, yes, the mastery's boring, whatever.
But if
You're a resto druid, fuck off. But no, it fits. Okay, so your healing is increased by 10% for each restoration heal over time effects on the target. Each of your restoration and healing effect times.
Yeah.
I like it. That means extra healing goes to where it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
It stacks. So say you've got your rejuve, your germination, your life bloom, your wild growth. I think that's all they get.
Life bloom.
Unless there's something else.
You
Yeah.
just-
Rejuve, life bloom, wild growth. And this affects all healing. So when you put a rejuve on a target, you get a 1x boost
Mm-hmm.
of your mastery. So it's still increased by that 10%. You put another rejuve, each of them is healing for 20% more. So if your raid's taking like shit tons of damage, or if your tank's taking shit tons of damage, this applies to all healing spells.
Even Tranquility.
Even Tranquility. So you're gonna see a lot of people, me included, casting Wild Growth, rejuving the rest, and tranking. Because we like big numbers and we like to see health bars go up.
And it's dynamic scaling too.
It's goddamn ridiculous, that's what it is. Jesus Christ.
Alright, enough said about druids, I guess.
Yeah, that's all we've got on druids. That's the only real big thing that they changed.
Yeah, but-
Everything else is the same.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, no, I like druids. I like druids where they're at. It's just a matter of if your other healers know how to heal with a druid. That's a totally other
I know how to heal with a druid.
Yeah, thank God this guy knows how to deal with a druid. I know a ton of
I'll
people
just
who don't.
bubble up my disc priest and you just heal the rest of the damage.
Yep, there it is. There it is. I don't have to snipe heals. That's not the case anymore because priests are different.
Yep. Alright, so now we move on to hunters, which I don't think we
Priests are different. Let's talk about hunters.
ABC order. We're professionals. So, I don't
What's
think,
a script?
I don't think either of us really play a hunter.
No, but my raid has 3 hunters in it, and I understand hunter enough to know what
Okay.
is required.
Well, these changes might make me want to pick up a hunter. At least.
Which spec? Ooh, should it be Beast Mastery? Okay, we both know it's not going to be Beast Mastery, but we should talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Well, Beast Mastery, it's already kind of got the theme of Beast Mastery within it, because they got
Right.
the super pets, and a lot of their stuff is based on making your pet do damage. But they're dire beasts, which is really cool, by the way, because now they're changing it to have it from zones that you're in. So you'll just call a beast from the zone.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, very
So
cool.
that's super awesome.
So what kind of beast do you think it would call from Hellfire Citadel?
Probably wolves.
Yeah.
I haven't been in there.
I gotta wonder, like, what kind of... You just name some, like, stupidly off-the-wall place that doesn't have any... What kind of beast would it call from Netherstorm? This is an arcane race. I don't know. Sure.
And of course, guys,
Mana
Blizzard is asking for what pet families would you like to see tamed?
Oh, yeah.
So, get your suggestions in.
Hashtag hunters, hashtag legion.
So, instead of Cobra Shot for their focus regeneration, it's now the Dire Beast.
Which makes sense because they're beast mastery.
Yeah. And Cobra Strike is just steady shot but with theme.
Yeah.
So, otherwise they're not really that much changed because kill command's still the same. Their mastery's still the same.
Wild call interaction from Dire Beast, that's actually kind of necessary because it's your regen talent. Regen. I mean, Cobra Shot still regens when you don't have Dire Beast, but Dire Beast helps a lot.
Yes.
The one thing I want to see from Blizzard, and maybe they won't change this, it's the fact that when you're DPSing something as a Beast Mastery Hunter, if you're DPSing two separate bosses or two separate ads or whatever, they're off in other corners of the room, the DPS loss from your pet going from one to the other, if there's like travel time, is huge.
Yeah, I think they tried to fix that with the Blink Streak,
Yeah.
but I don't know how well that worked.
Again, we don't play Hunter, so I'm not entirely sure, but I know from the Beast Mastery Hunter we have, he's always complaining about, oh, this boss, I gotta like swap targets and crap.
Well, I think back in Vanilla they actually had ranged pets.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
You had your
That was cool.
Cloud Serpents.
I would like to see more ranged pets.
That would be cool. I would like to see a ranged pet. I would really like to. That would be awesome. I don't even care. Lightning Breath, sure, counted as physical damage. I don't care. It's still cool.
That would make me want to play Beastmaster more.
On the same note, though, then everyone would have a ranged pet because it would be more efficient.
Yeah, but if they fix their pet problem, then that wouldn't be an issue.
Just give pets a charge. Give pets a warrior charge, infinite distance, no cooldown. I see no problems with this.
Especially PvP.
Especially in PvP.
And Warsaw Gulch.
They'd fix that. If you could still control your pet and do that shit, woof, gone. It would be so cool. I would love that.
Just auto-target the flag carrier while they're going to cap the flag. Just
I see you.
Jimmy, go get him.
Get him, Billy!
All the players just see a board, just charge.
You know what'd be hilarious? That same fucking thing though with Stampede. Just a horde of boards just going after one target. That'd be great.
And then the flag carrier is stunned for the entire charge.
Additive for each charge he receives.
Oh my god.
No problem with this. Game totally not broken.
An entire team of hunters. They just charge the flag carrier.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to participate in this battleground? Sorry, we can't let you do that. You're gonna have to be stunned for about a minute first.
Especially if they like have their pet hide somewhere far away.
Oh my god, that's cruel.
They're like, oh, there's a flag carrier. Go get him.
Get him. Get him. Yep. Yep, for sure.
Alright. Wait.
Down. There you go.
Oh, I got confused because marksmanship is usually in the middle, but then they put.
Well, we can talk about marksman. I mean, we can take it. We can do something crazy like that. Sure. Whoa, we are off the rails.
I do like to live dangerously.
Ooh, I got chills from that one. Talk about marksmanship.
Alright.
Yeah.
In vanilla, I really like the idea of marksman. I didn't like having a pet because.
Except then you were a hunter and you still had a pet. That wasn't a choice.
Yeah, that was literally not a choice.
Literally not a choice.
Because I don't like having pets. I feel like I'm burdened by having a pet, because then my damage is basically split with this little fucker.
He really doesn't like pets.
So, having the choice of going marksman and not having a pet kind of appeals to me. Then you're literally
It's just you.
Yeah, then you are a marksman.
There was one thing though. Sometimes when leveling, people wanted like a pet to kind of soak damage for them.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of their thing, especially back in vanilla when you had dead zones.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yes.
But marksmanship, dead zones are no longer a thing. Marksman doesn't have a pet, and they're kind of combining. Actually, I see why they ordered it how they did, but we'll go along with that later. Marksman, it's your solo ranged guy, and because of their changes to survival, it's picking up a lot of the stuff that survival had, like your black arrow and your explosive shot, that kind of shit.
Hmm.
And in fact, don't they mention explosive shot?
Lock
and load.
Yeah, lock and load, because it makes more sense for... Because people like those abilities, so they just moved them to marksman since survival's not going to need it anymore.
That's why I played survival. I mean, come on. Black arrow, explosive shot, done.
Mm-hmm. And black arrow is coming back.
Yep, they totally confirmed that.
Yep, so... And arcane shot is your spam ability.
Well, that hasn't changed. Remember back in the transition from mop, or into mop, I can't remember what it was.
Into mop.
Where you just spammed arcane shot and did all the damage because you did not lose enough focus for it to matter.
Because of that one talent.
Because of the one talent, broke hunters. Absolutely broke hunters. It was just spam arcane shot and you won every time.
Well,
you want to see a frost mage do that?
Side note, it's still relating to hunters, but their artifact weapons, thinking about it more, they're juicy.
Yeah, I really like that artifact weapon.
Like, for a marksman, the bow and arrow doesn't have power associated with it. It's just a bow and arrow that is used by a famous person all the time, so all it is reliable. And that's what a marksman hunter needs, something reliable.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if they're going to make an artifact weapon cosmetic where it looks like Sylvanas' bow.
They probably will.
That would be awesome.
And there are some artifacts that they've said on this Legion class preview feedback thing, where some swords may look like axes for some of their things.
Okay.
So
I can see that. That's fine.
So it's not going to always just be a sword or a bow.
Yeah, you can change it cosmetically. And can't you transmog it too?
Yeah, you can.
Into something else, so it doesn't have to clash with your gear for you fashionistas out there.
And for dual wield, like Frost Death Knights.
Thank you.
You can change them separately.
Ah, smart.
You can't do that with the sword and shield ones, though, because they're supposed to go together.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So, just a good side note for that.
Yep.
Alright.
So, marksman, it's essentially the same, but
a fusion of survival and
gives it the old survival abilities, that kind of thing.
Yep.
And then you finally have survival.
Yep.
The melee hunter.
And I played in vanilla, and I played a little bit of survival. So some of these abilities are familiar to me. At least the names.
All you vanilla junkies are like, oh. That spec that was bad but still looked cool.
Well,
I do, dude. I got some weird goosebumps when I read Raptor Strike. I didn't play. I joined in BC. But I still leveled a hunter, and back then you still had these abilities. So like Raptor Strike, I'm like, I remember that. I was a troll and I spun around. I had like a little baby moment. It was weird.
But I'm a little
wing clip.
I'm slightly disappointed in what it looks like the rotation will be.
Mongoose bite, mongoose bite, mongoose bite, mongoose bite, mongoose bite, more mongoose bite.
Well, I think. Well, you have to keep the laceration up, so basically rend. And your Raptor Strike is going to be your heavy hitter with the focus, and then mongoose bite from the Q&A that they did. It doesn't seem like it's going to actually do a lot of damage.
They want you to keep it roll, or it's not. You're not going to be able to keep it rolling. What they want you to do is pool your focus, get a lot of stacks, and then use those stacks probably on Raptor Strike to deal more damage.
Yeah.
And then pool it like that again. I'm not too keen on the whole pooling resources thing. I like hitting all of my buttons all at once when they flash. Surprisingly enough, I haven't leveled a Ret Paladin. Don't ask me why. Shots fired. The fuck's a resource? I just hit all my buttons when they're shiny.
And the flanking strategy is essentially kill command.
Oh yeah, they mentioned that. It's kind of like kill command, but you and your pet attack at the same time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people missed.
Yeah, they missed that part. Yep.
So it's like you and your pet work together.
You and your pet. Okay, that was a lot of the Q&A. I felt like a lot of people asked these questions, and they were like, "Did you guys just not read these?" Flanking strike. Oh, that must be kill command. Why don't you attack with your pet? Well, it says you and your pet attack the target simultaneously.
I noticed that in a lot of YouTube videos too. Like people are commenting before they finish watching the video. They're like, "I'm so angry already." And then it's like, "Oh, never mind."
Replies to their own comment. Never mind. Question answered. Moving on.
So I think it's just the internet in general.
Oh yeah, no, and I can totally imagine we would do that too. Like, there's probably questions that we're asking that's like, idiots, why didn't you read it? There's a lot, okay? Throw us a bone.
Yeah.
Strike.
So, and the mastery just gives you more mongoose fights.
I am okay with this.
So
I don't. Their formatting wasn't weird, so I actually read it into the next talent thing, and it was awkward. But it's that 20% with typical gear to give you an additional charge of Mongoose Bite. Again, that's kind of like leaving your hopes to RNGesus on that one, where if you're really lucky, you can get like a shit ton of stacks of Mongoose Bite and just Raptor Strike to win. I mean, technically, with what this says, if you're the luckiest person alive and talent just right, which who knows, they might be able to talent this, you can one-shot someone.
yeah. Which is why there's going to be a beta.
And that's why we get beta.
Yeah. By the way, in beta, for at least the first part, they want you to make sure that the theme fits well with each spec.
I call mages.
Before
Give me the mage.
before you worry about numbers.
Mage and or druid.
I'll do warrior and monk, thank you.
Alright, what do we got next? What do we got
Mage.
next? Mage.
Speaking of mages.
Mage. Mage. I wasn't like super